You know, waiting rooms really suck. Hey guys, it's William. Welcome back to the Shape Game. Today we're gonna talk about something I hate, but it's like a necessary evil. Those are waiting rooms. For the first couple of visits to your doctor, with anything, but specifically with me with cancer, those waiting room visits were pretty lame. And that's putting it nicely. It's because you really want answers at the beginning. You want to understand what's going on. Every appointment with your doctor is something new. It's something you're grappling with more information. So to sit in the waiting room for like 30 minutes, an hour and a half, it's mind-numbing, especially when there's a bunch of other people there getting called in or waiting along with you. You see more people come in, you're like, oh my gosh, are they ever going to get through all these people? Like, it seems like you're there for like ever, even though your appointment time has been like 30 minutes past, and then they call in somebody, and I think that person just got there. I'm like, wait, that's not how this is supposed to work. I was taking care of myself at MD Anderson, and they had a pretty good system. You never were waiting too long, unless of course, they can't predict the time of every patient. Sometimes you have a patient that might take a little longer, and then that backs it up, and then suddenly you're waiting for an hour for an appointment that you had already been there for on time. It's human error, whether it's on the scheduling of the doctor's part. Not enough people showed up that day in terms of staff, so the speed has definitely gone down. Thankfully, at MD Anderson and other hospitals, they have a place where you can get your blood work or your heart rate and weight and all that stuff done by somebody else, and then you can go back and sit down, and then they'll call you into the doctor. So once you're finally there, they can get right to the facts, which is really nice. That being said, what are some things that you can do to pass the time while you're in there? Definitely, if your waiting room has Wi-Fi, connect that phone immediately. Download some YouTube videos beforehand, watch them on your phone, watch them on the Wi-Fi, listen to podcasts. I love podcasts so much. I want to do a video where I recommend podcasts that have helped me through this time, that are interesting and hopefully engaging for you guys too. By the way, I have a podcast. I was about to say we, but it's just me on this channel. I have a podcast now called the Shape Game Podcast. Link in the description if you want to check that out. Music has been so important to me. If you haven't heard me ever mention it in another video, music impacts me deeply and like emotionally. And so calming music or happy music, just listening to that with my eyes closed in the waiting room, because it can take a while, just is really nice. Make sure that's not too loud, that they call your name and you don't hear them. But if you have your parents with you like I always did, then you can definitely let them handle the hearing your name part. Listening to music, podcasts, watching YouTube videos, those are great. But what if you're not big into electronics and you don't want to deal with that? There's another solution: reading. Reading can really pass the time. I love reading. I have read probably too many books to count, but if you just want a good book to read, Travels with Charlie, In Search of America by John Steinbeck. I don't know, you could probably think of something. If you're sitting there wasting time waiting for your appointment, do it by learning new things. Buy a book about astronomy, read Ender's Game because everyone told you had to and you never did. Just catch up on things. Make that time productive instead of just feeling like, when is my doctor going to get here? Make it so you're not wasting your time, because especially with serious illnesses like with cancer or anything that you're really suffering through, you're going to feel like, okay, unless I'm seeing the doctor, this is like wasting whatever time I have, And you can view it that way, but you can also make it so that you're productive during that time. Like writing, definitely write down what you're going through. Write a poem, write a little short story, anything, just journal your thoughts. And hey, even read about cancer treatments and stuff like that, so you might have something to ask your doctor when you go in there. Quick little warning: doctors don't always enjoy it when you say, hey, I Googled this and they're like, I've seen maybe one or two doctors roll their eyes. So maybe don't mention Google in your appointments. It kind of annoys doctors a little bit. They're like, this Google is making us seem incompetent or something, even though they're not. They know way more than Google. So that's something to think about. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. Kind of got away from me. Anyways, at the end of the day, do something you love. I love Hidato. It's a puzzle where it's like a square with a bunch of squares in it, and you gotta connect all the numbers, and there's only one right solution. Those are so much fun. I went to Barnes & Noble. They had a little booklet of like hundreds of those. It's super small. I could throw it in a bag. You could just do that while you're waiting. Just operate your mind, you know? Do something productive. How many times have I said, do something productive? Really, at the end of the day, it's up to you. Do something you love. Do something that makes you feel like you're doing stuff. I've seen husbands and wives arguing about treatments in the waiting room, and I'm like, really? I mean, at this point, you're just stressing each other out before you're about to hear news that may or may not be super happy, you know? But I wouldn't do that. I'm just like, if anything, work on yourself. Work on yourself, work on your mind, live your life. That's been my motto from day one of recording these. It's really just do what makes you happy. And if that includes watching funny videos in a waiting room, laughing your brains out while everyone's looking at you like you're crazy, who cares? You know, you're passing the time through something that's pretty rough. At least you have enjoyment during those moments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, I have a podcast. I'll put a link in the description. Definitely check that out. I talk about things that sometimes I won't get to on here. Music recommendations, just day-to-day things, mental health issues. That's fun, right? You can check that out. Link in the description, like I said. I also have a Twitter now, so if you want to say something to me, if you want to like chat with me, but don't necessarily want to, you know, comment your opinions down below and just want to like privately talk to me, you could do that on Twitter. Just send me a direct message on there. That'd be fun too. Once again, link in the description for that. It's the Shape Game YT, you know, for YouTube. So check me out there too. Anyways, thank you so much as usual. This means a lot to me, you guys watching these, and I love reading the comments. I try to reply to everyone because every comment just means something to me. It's really cool that you guys care so much to comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.